Hey everyone, welcome to class. Today we are going to continue on lesson 3. Write a cover letter for an application. And the grammar that we are going to study is in case or just in case. Let's start our class by reading this story. It is taken from the Number One Ladies Detective Agency book by Alexander McCall Smith. You can read along with me. Mara Motswe had thought that it would not be easy to open a detective agency. People always made the mistake of thinking that starting a business was simple and then found that there were all sorts of hidden problems and unforeseen demands. She had heard of people opening businesses that lasted 4 or 5 weeks before they ran out of money and stock, or both. It was always more difficult than you thought it would be. She went to the lawyer in Pilane who had arranged for her to get her father's money. He had organized the sale of the cattle and had got a good price for them. "I have got a lot of money for you," he said. "Your father's herd had grown and grown." She took the check and the sheet of paper that he handed her. It was more than she had imagined possible. But here it was, all that money made payable to Precious Ramotswe on presentation to Barclays Bank of Botswana. "You can buy a house with that," said the lawyer, "and a business. I'm going to buy both of those." The lawyer looked interested. "What sort of business? A store? I can give you advice. You know, a detective agency." The lawyer looked blank. "There are none for sale." "There are none of those." Mara Motswe nodded. "I know that. I'm going to have to start from scratch." So yes, this story is set in Botswana, in Africa. Let's move on to the second part and try to answer the questions here. There are 3 questions. What equipment and furniture did she get for her office? Number 2, who did she hire and how? Number 3, were they busy when they first opened? Why do you think this is? Let's continue reading the second part. There was a lot to do. A builder was called in to replace the damaged plaster and to repair the tin roof, and again, with the offer of cash, this was accomplished within a week. Then Mara Motswe set to the task of painting, and she had soon completed the outside in ochre and the inside in white. She bought fresh yellow curtains for the windows and in an unusual moment of extravagance splashed out on a brand new office set of 2 desks and 2 chairs. Her friend, Mr. J.L.B. Matikoni, proprietor of Tlokweng Road Speedy Motors, bought her an old typewriter which was surplus to his own requirements. And with that, the office was ready to open once she had a secretary. This was the easiest part of all. A telephone call to the Botswana College of Secretarial and Office Skills brought an immediate response. They had just the woman, they said. Mama Kutsi was the widow of a teacher and had just passed their general typing and secretarial examinations with an average grade of 97%. She would be ideal. They were certain of it. Mara Motswe liked her immediately. She was a thin woman with a rather long face and braided hair, in which she had rubbed copious quantities of henna. She wore oval glasses with wide plastic frames, and she had a fixed but apparently quite sincere smile. They opened the office on a Monday Ma Ramotswe sat at her desk and Ma Makutsi sat at hers, behind the typewriter. She looked at Ma Ramotswe and smiled even more broadly. "I'm ready for work," she said. "I'm ready to start." Said Ma Ramotswe. "It's early days yet. We've only just opened. We will have to wait for a client to come." Alright, those are part 1 and part 2. You can read part 3, which I will send you on a separate file. The part 3 is going to talk about how do Mama Kutsi's feelings about the business change. Now this is the language point, in case. Please look at the active grammar box. Example 1. She stayed behind in the office in case the telephone rang. The word "in case" there means she would be ready if the telephone rang. So she would be prepared to pick up the phone if the telephone rang. But it happened in the past. So the past tense of will is would. Example 2. I called my boss again in case she hadn't got my message. So in fact, I had sent the message. And then after I sent that message, I called my boss again in case she hadn't got my message. Example 3. I will stay here in case any clients come. Look at the tense, yeah? I will. So this is spoken now. It is not about the past, but it is about now and the future. Example 4. I might leave early just in case there are problems on the trains. This is also present and then future. I might here means I might need to do it. Perhaps I need to do it. The last example, I always leave plenty of time to get work just in case. The just in case here is like an emphasis. You give a stress on something. Alright, we can talk about the rules and we can discuss on our Telegram group. Now I would like you to look at the exercise and think, and you can change the sentence and use "in case" in your sentences. Alright? So I hope you learned something useful today. I will see you again in my next video.